All right, can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me, guys, real quick, because I think you should be able to hear me now. Which you're muted. No, I'm not muted. I'm not figuring out. All right, can you hear me? You can hear me now? All right, so I'll unplug. I had a microphone plugged up there, but I guess it's not working. Go ahead and take that junk off right there. Guys, the reason I'm going basically live, I was talking about battery versus gas, and it's going to be the future of everything, guys. Lawn care, driving automobiles, washing cars, uh, cooking. Cooking is really going over to electric, even though I love gas cooking. Now, don't get it twisted. But if you're new to the live stream, guys, hit and hold that like button. And the reason I said this is for is what I'm trying to do is commercial lawn care, guys. I'm going basically cordless to the battery, if you want to put it like that. And here's why, guys. It's easier for me to just do what I need to do going completely battery on the commercial side. The only thing I'm not battery right now is the my 52-inch Toro. All right, I've even reached out to Toro and some of these other guys to see if they want to donate one for the cause so they can get the publicity and I can go all battery. None of them responded, but the Crest company right here, I don't know if you can see that, guys. It may be backwards, but Crest, which is a commercial based built company, they sent out a whole bunch of power tools, guys, and right now I'm basically at 90% battery. A lot of people did reach out to me and said, did Greenworks send you out anything to go commercial? And no, they didn't respond. At this point, I don't know what Greenworks is doing, because they basically broken the relationship off. They don't want to deal with BYD for some reason, but thank goodness Crest reached out. Now, I do want to show you this real quick. Crest has an 8-minute battery right here. This battery is not going to give you 8 minutes of charging on a regular charger. All right, they have a thing called a cyber tank that has to be mounted to a truck that has fast charging capability in order for you to get that. Other than that, it's going to take anywhere from 30 minutes to get this thing charged. Now, having said that, if you put it on the cyber light tank I could charge this big old brick battery right here in about 10 to 11 minutes. Now, people are, what a BYD battery, baby. Yep. I did get a lot of, I'm gonna take these off so I can see, because I'm outside here. I did get a lot of people saying that, oh, battery is not gonna be the best thing to do. They're banking on you having to buy batteries over and over and over, which is true, guys. But the way I look at it like this, guys, and this, by the way, this is the nano battery. The one I just showed you, it's a smaller version of that. One thing I do know, guys, when you put gas in your car and you run out of gas, what do you have to do? You have to go to the gas station and, let me see. This Gator guy, like I said, I get guys like this right here, guys. Let me see if I can block him off the channel. I don't have time for that bullshit. Don't come over here playing. Please do not come to the channel with that kid stuff. I don't know why these people love thinking that they can just come to your live streams with all that, but guys, if you see anybody playing in the comments, make sure you click on it and report them, all this and that, because we don't have time for that. But I've been using battery to cut my home for the last 2-3 years, and you see, guys, that battery does work. It is what it is. You're gonna have some battery haters, just like Will Smith did in iRobot and hated the robots, and at the end he was shaking hand with the thing. But I do think that battery is gonna push us forward. Even with these cars, the Teslas and all this and that, I know they're having hiccups along the way. It's not going to be perfect, but you think about the first people well, not the first people, when people were riding horse and buggy and the Model T came out, and a slew of those people didn't want to do it, but the people who did it, they just dealt with some of the issues that came along with it. So I think at this stage, battery has proven itself to be useful. And as far as me out there doing lawn care, guys, if you follow me on Instagram, you've been seeing me use a lot of this battery equipment, and this stuff has been working great. Here's some of the advantages that I have by going commercial battery. I don't have to worry about gas anymore. I don't have to do oil filters, spark plug changes, air filters. I don't have to worry about getting out there in the field and it's starting to malfunction because it needs servicing. I don't have to worry about that gas smell anymore. I don't have to worry about stopping at the gas station specifically to get gas so I can make gas oil mix. All of that bill right there has went down, guys. All right. Yes, I do have to charge batteries, and yes, I have to have multiple batteries. Yes, I need a lot of that stuff right there. But I mean, it is what it is, guys. Guys, I know I'm struggling with this stuff, but you're gonna have to deal with it. I know I need all kinds of stuff, but just bear with me. Don't put messages in here about the equipment that I need so you can hear me. Hopefully, you can hear me good enough. All right, but going battery, guys, it's just going to be a lifestyle change. You're going to have to learn how to operate some of that equipment um, in order for you to use it like you're supposed to. Your watch runs off a battery. You got to charge it every 1 to 3 days, depending on, like, this model right here. This is the Ultra. I think I can go 3 days without charging it. Your phone is going to need to be recharged. Your earbuds are going to need to be recharged. Even with that, people love these earbuds more than they love the regular earbuds that used to have the wire that ran to their phone, because nobody wants to wire. So everybody, even the phones, Apple in particular, stopped putting that adapter on the phone. So you got to have basically a wireless connection, but everything is running out of battery, guys. So the battery hate is going to be there. That's fine. I do think the people who resist it and want to ride or die with gas, you're gonna ride or die with gas. I think it's like the people who waited to update their phone or upgrade their phones to iPhones and this and that, who talked about iPhone badly, are now iPhone users, because iPhone has 70% of the market. So with the battery, you're going to see a lot more landscapers starting to switch over. You're going to read a lot of comments where people just hate batteries and want to talk about it real bad. I got an airplane and air conditioner flying over, so let me get that a second right there. All right, and while we're waiting on that, guys, if you're new to the live stream, please hit and hold that like button. All right, make sure you hit and hold the like button. It'll send algorithm over here. I got a comment down here, Hoss 83. I love battery powered stuff. I still use my DeWalt blower and weed eater from 2016. This guy right here has adapted the way to use battery. All right, the same way I've adapted it on my lawn. I give you an example. So when you're buying a battery lawnmower for your home, my suggestion is you buy one that can hold 2 batteries, like 2 5 amps, 2 6 amps, 2 8, 10, whatever it is. Here's why. When you're using that battery lawnmower, and most of them where they run now, they run off of one battery and then they switch over to the other battery. Now I think that what's the company? Milwaukee, I think their batteries, you actually run off of both batteries at the same time, which is kind of a bummer, because when they die, both of them die. So if you're running off a battery lawnmower that switches over from one to the other, when the first one dies, guys, you take that one out, you switch over to the second battery, you put that first battery on the charger, and you keep mowing. All right, therefore, you should be able to finish your yard. Now, if you're cutting an acre yard with a 21-inch lawnmower, that's where you made your mistake, because you need a rider lawnmower at that point. So it's the same way with this Crest technology right here. All right, when this battery dies off right here, I think this battery is, let me see, it's charged all the way up. But when this battery dies off right here, guys, that Cyber Tank that you put it on that can charge this in 8 minutes, or the Cyber Tank Light Tank like I got to charge it in about 10 to 11 minutes, you put this one on here while you have another battery and you keep working. If you're operating with a lot of equipment, you're going to need multiple battery, guys. You got to get it out your head that you're going to be able to run your whole damn lawn care service off of one battery all day long. I can't do that even when I cut grass with gas. I gotta constantly, not constantly, but every now and then I have to keep putting some gas, oil mix, or some gas into my lawnmower. So the trade, it's gonna be a trade-off. It's just gonna be if you're gonna learn how to use this equipment versus you're complaining about how to use this equipment. And one thing I've noticed, guys, is that the people who keep telling me that you're gonna fail, the batteries are no good, this and that, they haven't even used battery. You can't talk about using batteries when you haven't used them, or you don't know a person who uses battery equipment to give you a better opinion of it. So if you've been following me, guys, especially on Instagram, you see I use battery over and over and over and over and over. And I'm here to tell you the battery revolution is here. Yes, the batteries cost. This battery, I don't know how much these batteries cost, but I know they cost $400 or $500 a piece or something like that. But when you buy the equipment, most of your equipment will come with a battery. So on the commercial side, I'm buying equipment and all of them come with batteries. So if I got 5 pieces of equipment, 6 pieces of equipment, I got 6 batteries. All right. So between changing them in and out, they work. This battery right here, I used it to cut my to stick edge, to weed eat, and I used it in the blower on my property, and it only used 1 battery. All right. So what that tells me is, I didn't do it with the hedge trimmer because they haven't sent the hedge trimmer yet. But what that tells me is I can do about 3 or 4 yards if they're maintained with this 1 battery versus me cutting a yard that's not maintained. In my business, the way I operate my business, I'm not in the business of going out finding up effed up yards so I can mow for free so you can get your entertainment. I'm all about making some paper, some money, whatever you want to call it. All right, Hoss 83, the lawn care nut, gave me his 60-volt power toward recycler named Gilly. I remember that. I let my daughter use it because it was way lighter than gas. She loves it. True that. Gas weighs a little bit more in some cases. Battery is way lighter. The thing that weighs battery operated equipment down is actually the battery. It's not the machinery itself. And if you're new to this live stream, guys, please hit and hold the like button. And guys, if you're one of those a-holes that come to the live streams to play around, listen, this grown man business, don't come over here with that. Please don't come over here with that. That Gator 1414 was just a real idiot, man. I don't know what's wrong with these people. But if you're new to the live stream and this information is helping you out a lot, guys, make sure you please hit and hold that like button even after this is done right here. I'm just seeing if we got any more comments down here. 54 people in live stream, 14 likes, guys. We need to get those likes up. But the revolution of the battery is here. You can not get with it. You can. I understand why some people don't want to do battery. It's because this is for the average homeowner. If you're cutting your regular lawn with a battery operated lawnmower, you're gonna have to mow it often than you would. So mowing a lawn every 2 weeks with battery is not going to get it on the homeowner side. Commercial batteries tend to push a whole lot harder and give you more power, but yes, you're gonna have to have multiple batteries. My experience of using on both sides have been great. I haven't had any issues, but even with my own personal lawn, I mow my own personal lawn about every 3 to 4 days so far. All right, and that's with battery. Yesterday we did the whole, not yesterday, day before yesterday, I cut my entire yard with nothing but battery, no gas. I used the Crest battery lawnmower, the commercial lawnmower. I used the Crest stick edger, the Crest weed eater, the Crest blower. Did not trim the hedges at all because they didn't need it. But it was totally a battery experience, and I don't regret any of it at all. All right, so if you got any questions down here you want to ask me about battery, let me know real quick, guys. I'm just checking. Let me see. Loving my new Cabot. That's from Tony. Vince Lee, no name. That's crazy. Don't understand that. Haas, are you still using Yard Master fertilizer this year? Yes. So I'm gonna release my 1600 double dark video soon. I did apply that maybe about a month ago. So you can see in the background, guys. You see it? She's greened up real good, real nice and green. I love it. But yeah, I'm still using it all season long. I'm not gonna use it as, how can I say it, as often. I'm not gonna be trying to apply it every 30 days. I'm gonna try to stretch it to every 45 so I can get, I don't want surge growth. I want to keep cutting my yard and maintain it at a certain height. Right now, I'm cutting my yard at 1 inch with the battery Ryobi and the battery Chris commercial lawnmower. I have a Cenex lawnmower. I'm not actually using it all the time because it cuts at 1.5. Once it get a little bit thicker, higher, I'll switch over to the Cenex. Any more as you recommend for home use? Yes, the Ryobi AWD battery mower with two 6-amp batteries. The Cenex lawnmower with the 8-amp battery, not the 6-amp. The 6-amp battery is truly a push mower. It does not self-propel. The 8-amp version costs $100 more, but it actually goes to push and battery. I mean, push and self-propel. You can do both. That was from, I don't forget who that was. That was from Mark D. All right, we got that Gemscape battery doesn't change the rate of grass grow. Why would you need to mow more? Because if it gets super thick, just from my experience, you're not gonna take a 4-inch grass all the way back down to 1 inch on a battery mower and it not struggle. That's why. So you're gonna have to mow more often to get the benefits of it. When you switch to battery, guys, I'm gonna keep saying this. You gotta change your pattern of behavior and your thinking. All right. Battery, you're gonna have to mow just a little bit more. If you're stuck on gas and you just want as much power and you don't cut your yard, but every 2-3 weeks, you shouldn't even be following this channel because that's something I do not promote or even talk about, mowing the grass every 3 to 4 weeks. I mow my grass 3 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week. So even when I'm servicing yards every 2 weeks, but we make sure we keep the nitrogen count real low so I don't run into surge growth. All right, let's see. That was from Gemscape. Timothy, I have a big patch of Dallas grass in my lawn. If I spray it with Roundup, will the grass eventually grow back in the area? If you listen, digging it up may help, but you still won't get all the roots. I generally tell people to try to do what you're talking about doing during the off season, not when this season is taking off, because you're going to damage that grass. Good thing about Roundup, it does not contain glyphosate in it anymore. Still kills the same way. I think they just changed it to another fancier name, but if you spray that, it's going to hurt the grass in the area, and it's going to take a while for it to fill back in. I technically, at this point, I'm ripping them out by hand, or you're going to have to do such of a light spraying in that area and hope that it doesn't rain in the next 2-3 days to try to kill it off. The Bermuda grass will spray it back over, especially if you put some sand or something in that spot after it dies off. Eventually it'll fill back in. But if you're doing this to fescue or St. Augustine, or centipede, zoysia, something like that, you're gonna damage that grass pretty much for the rest of the season. I'm just gonna be real with you. All right. St. Augustine grass, any tips? If you got St. Augustine grass, I drove all the way to Florida last year to cut the lawn care nuts personal lawn and get some tips on St. Augustine. His tips were to keep it watered and make sure you feed it, because St. Augustine loves nitrogen. All right. As far as killing weeds, you're gonna have to look up what actually works best for that, because what kill weeds and Bermuda grass may damage the St. Augustine. So I would prefer you to look that up. If you got St. Augustine, guys, keep it mowed around about 3 to 4 inches if you can. I personally think you should mow it a little bit more often than not. because that grass is so freaking thick. It's ridiculous. I mean, it is ridiculously thick. Experienced some of that in Macon, Georgia this weekend when I went down there and do a personal one-on-one consultation. And beautiful grass. It's just so thick. All right. What temperature would you can apply yard mastery and temps of? I thought I heard some over here. When the temps get around about 70 plus degrees, start applying your yard mastery. Make sure you water it in the first 2 weeks, every 3 to 4 days. Water that stuff in good, and you'll see it take off right there. Is your zero turn too heavy for Bermuda? No, that's all I use on when I'm doing commercial. I don't use a zero turn on my yard that often because I like the way a smaller lawnmower looks, the cut that it gives on my yard versus the big lawnmower. If I'm out commercially, I got one job. I'm running your yard over with that 52 inch. I mean, it is what it is. Man, I love my Ego. Push more, can mow twice a week, no issues on battery life, and never had to pay for the stinky gas. And that was from Turbo Buffalo right there. Jim Skate, he has an Ego also with a large battery, 7.5 or 10, he thinks. Runs about an hour and a half straight. I think if you got, I want to say that 10 amp is pushing it an hour and a half straight. Ego is very good. Let's see. Turbo Buffalo going from gas to electric has turned me into a lawn care nut. I believe it. Napoleon Matthews, what are your opinion on Expert Garden weed and feed sold at Walmart? That stuff works great. Works just like any other fertilizers. Matter of fact, some of the major fertilizer companies actually do make Expert Gardener fertilizer. It's missing some of the components that they use, but it pretty much does the same thing. If you make sure you apply to a wet lawn, let it sit there 3-4 days, then water it in, it's good to go. Remember, you should not be applying a weed and feed to a lawn that is not actively growing along with the weeds. Putting weed and feed on a dormant Bermuda lawn or a dormant zoysia lawn, especially a dormant zoysia lawn, could be detrimental to, not detrimental, it can actually slow up zoysia. But putting it on Bermuda grass while it's dormant just because you got weeds is pretty much useless. Even though it still will kill some of the weeds, I prefer you do a liquid or a granular, nothing but weed kill for lawn formula versus the a grass that's not growing. True, let me see. Jared Reyes be out there. I'm looking for fertilizer that will red pop. I'm looking for that color. I got Zorro Zorja. Tried it, the Yard Mastery 1600. Now, if you have a Zorja lawn, guys, pay close attention to this. In my experience, you can't just keep running out there bum rushing Zorja with high nitrogen. This is from my experience. Zorja is a temperamental grass, and it really doesn't like to be hit hard with nitrogen like that. So if I had a Zorja lawn, even though I have a Zorja strip, I would only fertilize mine 2 to 3 times a season with a low nitrogen type fertilizer and just keep it mowed with a sharp blade, because that grass is so freaking thick. It's going to resist a lot of weeds, but you don't want to be bum rushing it with high nitrogen fertilizer, because it tends to make, from what I experienced, guys, it tends to make that turf grass species a little weak in the knees when it comes to you just ramming it with nitrogen. Now, having said that, if you got a Bermuda grass, I know we've been told to ram it with nitrogen, but my theory is if it's healthy, you don't have to apply a 30-50 or a 4600 or nothing like that to a Bermuda lawn that's already healthy, that doesn't have a lot of bare patches in it. Yeah, we want it to spread thick, but the reverse to it is, if you keep mowing 2 or 3 times a week, or either just twice a week, you're gonna force that grass to kind of start spreading horizontally. It's still gonna grow vertical, but you're gonna get more of a horizontal spread versus the other way it spreads. All right. So let's see here. How are you currently using your? I don't have an irrigation system. My irrigation system is called Heaven. All right. Every time it rains, that's the irrigation. Here's one thing you should know about Bermuda grass. Bermuda grass is a drought tolerant or drought somewhat resistant type grass. Now, it's not drought resistant because if anything doesn't get water, including you, you'll die. If you know that Bermuda grass is drought resistant or a lot of drought tolerant, why do you keep watering your Bermuda grass every 2 to 3 days? If you read the books, you should only need 1 inch of water per week on your Bermuda grass. If it's raining, do not water your Bermuda grass. You don't have to. All right. The proof is in the pudding. I'm on Georgia clay, and I don't fake it for the YouTube or the gram. I don't water my yard. I use hydrotain, and I pray for rain from Mother Nature. So I don't have a irrigation system. That's from Meet the Martins right there. Timothy, do ever had success with Celsius killing Dallas grass? No. Never had success with killing Dallas grass from Celsius. And let me tell you why. If it was that easy, nobody would be looking for the answer on YouTube or Instagram. All right. It can damage it, but it's not going to run it off. Had some success with Celsius with poa, crabgrass, and other stuff like that, but not Dallas grass. Dallas grass requires a specific way of being treated. For the average homeowner, I got a video up. If you type in how to kill Dallas grass / Bermuda grass central, I think I got 3 videos, and I'll show you how to do that. A way that you can afford to do it without buying the $200-300 bottle of chemical and wasting time, basically. All right. Thanks for the St. Augustine tip. That's what I'm talking about. No, I'm not in Bermuda. I'm in my backyard. I just got on this fluorescent shirt, and I picked up this Turf Titan hat while I was at Hartwell Huddle right there, guys. Now, I actually don't use Turf Titan, but sometimes I sport. If I get some swag, I'll put it on for a company. They was talking about sending some stuff out. I ain't got anything, so it is what it is. Let's see here. Cool in the Gang. I like that name. BYD, I'm about to purchase a backpack sprayer so I can wean myself off the company, spray my lawn myself. That's a good idea. Now, I did have a Yard Mastery backpack sprayer. It gave up on me. I do have some, what is it called? Not petrol. Oh, man, I can't think of the name. I got another backpack sprayer. They sent me out like 3 of them, guys. But the one I want to buy is it Flowzone, the Typhoon or whatever. I think that's their newest one, the best one they got. I think it's like $350, and it's never in stock. So they got the other one, I think the Cyclone that you can get, but I want the best one. So I'm waiting on that. But yeah, you're gonna need a backpack sprayer if you're gonna start doing that stuff yourself. That's from Cool in the Gang. Snapper 21 electric battery, pack 8.2. is a good mower. Now, I haven't seen any Snapper lawnmowers lately. I don't know if Snapper has went out of business or what's going on, but they used to be a big brand, but now they just fell off. Question, if you didn't have Bermuda grass, what grass would you prefer at your home? Bermuda. It is what it is. That's all I've ever known, so I couldn't say I would prefer this particular grass because I haven't had any other grass in my life but Bermuda. It's the only grass I know, and it's why I named my channel Bermuda Grass Central. Let's see here. What's your favorite plant growth regulator on Bermuda? I don't have a favorite. My favorite is the cheapest one because they all pretty much have the same active ingredient. But even spraying that, I'm not spraying my yard every month. If a PGR, I'm gonna just throttle back on the fertilizer and maybe cut it a little often. Maybe if it just takes off so fast, I would. But I think a lot of this stuff, guys, is internet hype and mistakes waiting to be made when you go and spray your yard with that. And here's the thing about buying PGR. If you don't get the little bottle, if you buy the gigantic 1 gallon bottle, you'll never use that stuff. So the efficacy of that stuff starts to fall off over a period of time, and eventually after 3 or 4 years, you end up throwing that stuff away. So if you're gonna buy it, I hate to say it, but spend the $30, $40, $50 on a little bottle and roll with that. And don't apply, even though it says you can apply it once a month. Be just out. You really only need to do that maybe once or twice during the season. But all that excessive, just applying it because you saw it on Instagram or YouTube, that's not necessary, guys. That's not necessary. If you're new to this live stream, guys, I notice a lot of you haven't hit the like button. Please hit that like button, guys, so we can get some people over here. By the way, Bermuda Grass Central, your channel has really helped my lawn. And that's from Turbo Buffalo right there. You are welcome. Let's see. Robert Kenyon the third, I'm getting a ton of poor and broadleaf weeds. If you're getting a ton of poor right now, you should start to see that stuff start to die off, because these temperatures are starting to get around in the mid 80s. And once they get to the mid 80s, poor starts to die off. If you're going into the big box store, you can get Image Red Label, and you could spray up to 8,000 square feet with the hose in sprayer bottle. But here's the thing. Even if you do that and you have pour, it's gonna die off slow anyway. It may speed up a little bit more because the temps are getting over 85. And as far as broadleaf weeds, that that Image will take care of some of that. But if you want a store-bought formula that's gonna kill way more, try the Spectracide 470. It kills everything but poor, Dallas grass, and I think goosegrass. So it's gonna knock out about 90% of your problems right there. Matter of fact, I got a bottle of that stuff sitting right here. This hooks up to your hose right here, guys. Make sure that's in there when you buy it. All right, don't leave out the store and this is not in there. I like the 470 because it kills about 10 more weeds than this one right here. All right, these can be picked up at any Home Depot, Lowe's, and some Walmarts. This bottle only covers 5,000 square feet. This bottle covers 22,000 square feet. All right, but so why do I recommend this one? Because if I'm recommending something, I'm trying to get you the best results. This is the better product. This just covers more. All right, this has way more 2,4-D in it than this product right here. So you're going to see results with this in about 5 hours, with this in about 3 hours. Results does not mean your weeds are dead in 3 to 4 hours. You'll just start to see it curl up. Normally you use those store-bought formulas. It takes about a couple of weeks. All right, this is the Image I was telling you about. I call it Red Label because it has on there. Don't get the one that says Image 240. That's not the same thing. When you go in the store, make sure you buy the one that says it kills annual bluegrass if you're trying to kill poor out your yard. Now note, when you spray this on here also, this bottle covers trees 8,000 square feet. Does not say up to 8,000 square feet. So you got to be methodical on how you spray it. When you see a product that says it treats up to 8,000 square feet, that means you can apply less or more, just a little bit, without really worrying about your grass. I've never used this and had it to damage my grass at all. The only complaint I have is it takes forever for it to work. All right. Now with that, if you want to make your own, this right here, if you buy this hose in, you could take this concentrate and pour it into this bottle and keep this bottle. Both of these bottles pretty much kill this. This one has 25% more, but it's formulated as a concentrate. What's diluting this is this hose in sprayer. So when you start spraying this on the yard, it dilutes the formula. It's the same formula. Now, having said that, when you buy products and you see a hose in product that says it covers 5,000 square feet, but the concentrate bottle may say it covers 20,000 square feet, you can't just pour that entire bottle over into that. That has to be measured out so you can get that particular rate that they're looking for. And you probably may have to mix it with water. All right, I went deep on that one right there. That was from Robert Kenyon the third. Coleslaw. It may meant now. Okay, coleslaw. I hope you have a wonderful day. Appreciate that. I'm thinking of going battery. I have St. Augustine, and I like it high, so high. Listen, you can have it high. Eagle mowers work great with the high grass, but I still recommend you got to cut it more often. You can't let it build up. Now I don't know if when I talked to Alan, he said that he mulches his, but it, let me see. I think he said it does better with the smaller lawnmower versus the big one. So you gotta weigh that out right there. Now it may have changed with the newer mowers they got. Um, you see what I'm saying? This here's another idiot, man. Crank how many? Why waste everybody time? Why come to the channel and play? Why not grow up? Stop playing on the channel, guys. I got rid of that guy. If you had to mix lawn, St. Augustine and Bermuda, what height? I would not listen. I'm finna tell you this straight up. Do not mix turf types because they're going to be treated differently for as cutting heights, lawn care chemicals, and all this and that. If you mix those two grasses and you start spraying atrazine on your Bermuda grass, it may turn a little bit yellow, but it could be used on St. Augustine. Do not do that, guys. It's the worst mistake you can make right there. If anything, choose one. Do not mix lawn care. Stop watching all these YouTube videos where these guys are doing all this and that, but they're not showing you the hell that they're going through to keep that yard looking a certain way. They're not meant to be mixed. You either gonna have Bermuda grass or you're gonna have what was the other one you said? St. Augustine. Now I went to Florida. I looked at the lawn care nut. He says he has some wild Bermuda grass still growing up in there. All right, it is what it is, but that's not something he planted. So don't mix those types because Bermuda grass doesn't look good cut at 3-4 inches tall. St. Augustine grass will brown out if you cut it at 1 inch. Somebody that's going to be an anomaly that says, "Oh no, mine was great at 1 inch." Bull crap. Don't cut your yard that freaking low if you got St. Augustine. It needs to be cut at a certain height. All right. That was from Timothy Dew. Let's see here. I'm just trying to see if we got anybody who not playing on the what you call them. All right. Yep. Sometimes, just like Timothy did, he said he bought the house, it was already mixed in. So they do have a Bio Advanced Make It formula that you can spray on. I want to say, I don't know what type of grass you're supposed to spray it on, but it helps run the Bermuda off, but it won't get rid of it. All right. So guys, I think, I just wanted to jump on here, talk about these battery products right here, how I went totally battery. Hadn't still switched over to the big lawnmower yet because I'm just gonna be real with you. I can't afford a $25,000, $30,000 lawnmower just to switch over for the likes and the views. Reached out to Toro and a few other people, none responded. Crest did respond. They sent a gang bang of commercial equipment out, so I do appreciate that from them right there, guys. So if you got any more questions, guys, leave them in the regular comments. I will get back with you guys. But right now, I want to tell you one thing. You are tuned into Bermuda Grass Central with BYD. It's Michael Bowman with another live, and I'll talk to you soon.